and darling viewers, it's Jen here at Check Her Joy. Today I'm reviewing All My Love, Alec Brock by Larissa Lopes. This is a young adult romance. It is set in 2003, so the early 2000s, and it follows a teenager named Linda who thinks she is online dating this celebrity, this musician called Alec Brock, but actually she's being catfished, and she finds out when she goes to meet the real Alec Brock, and he does not recognize her at all. So she panics and runs away. And eventually she and the real Alec Brock start trying to figure out who the imposter has been. And as Linda and the real Alec Brock get to know each other better, she has to decide whether or not she's gonna look into the imposter. Like, does she really love the imposter, or does she love all the things he's been telling her about Alec Brock? Like, who's the real person she's in love with? So, like I said, this book was set in the early 2000s when internet dating was, it was easier to keep anonymity on the internet. There isn't video chatting. There isn't a lot of voice talking. She and the imposter Alec have been like text messaging back and forth and emailing. So she doesn't really talk to him and like hear his voice. And the things the fake Alec are telling her are things about the real Alec. Like, he has an uncanny knowledge of Alec's real life. Like, when the real Alec starts looking at the email she's accumulated, he's like, how does this person know all of this stuff about me? Which is what's making it very murky, because this is somebody who clearly wants Alec's life, or at least wants Linda to think that he is really Alec, to the point that he knows what clothes Alec is gonna wear on television before he makes that appearance. So creepy. So Linda starts off in West Virginia in this small town. Only her best friend Nina knows that she's been online dating this guy and that she's dating Alec Brock. You know, this super celebrity who is really famous, international pop star, top of the charts kind of guy, one of those celebrities that's in all the newspapers and the paparazzis following him, that kind of celebrity status. And Linda thinks Linda meets this guy in a chat room online, and they start talking, and then she's been dating him for about a year and a half. And then we meet her as she's 16 turning 17, and the real Alec Brock is 18 when this is all happening. So he's like a year or two older than her. So Linda decides to surprise Alec because he can never make it to West Virginia to see her. So her parents are divorced. Her mother lives in West Virginia. That's where Linda's living. But her dad moves to Los Angeles, which is where Alec lives. So she convinces her parents that it would be good for her to go to a school in LA. That it would be good for her, like, college admissions and everything. She wants to go to school in LA, and she'd get to spend more time with her dad and her half-siblings. So her parents agree to this, not knowing anything about the internet boyfriend or the fact that he's a celebrity. So when she first meets Alec, it's at this signing. She completely is going to surprise him and not tell him that she's coming or that she's even moving to LA. Except she gets an even bigger surprise when she goes to meet Alec, and he doesn't recognize her, doesn't have a glimmer of any kind of like there should be something between them. And she panics and runs away. Except other stuff happens, and eventually she does end up meeting Alec a second time, and he tries to figure out why she freaked out. And as she tells him that she thought she was dating him but wasn't really, Alec gets very protective of his own identity and the fact that there is somebody impersonating him, and feels a little bit responsible for Linda thinking she was dating somebody else in the first place. And so he starts working with her on this mystery of trying to uncover the imposter, which means that they spend a lot of time together and are communicating and get to know each other better. So she does eventually become friends with the real Alec Brock. And so she definitely still has feelings for this fake Alec, and she's trying to figure out whether the person she was in love with was, you know, was the celebrity, was Alec Brock the celebrity that she's been following in all the tabloids, watching all the TV appearances of, listening to all the music of, or if it's the imposter who's been talking to her and definitely seems to care for her, but also is lying to her the entire time, so she's got some complicated things she's sorting out. I really enjoyed the look at celebrity life in this book and getting to see Alec's home and his appearances and being a musician, the concerts, the working on music videos, how he interacts with fans, his relationship with the paparazzi. We definitely get to see all of that in Alec. We get to see Linda, the Uber fan who finally gets to meet the guy that she's in love with. That's also like really fun. But it's also a bit creepy because there is an imposter out there who is impersonating Alec. It is somebody who knows way more about Alec's life than they should. So it's entirely possible that this is somebody very close to Alec. And so it gets very creepy when you start meeting the other people around Alec and his life and start trying to figure out who the imposter is and realizing that it really could be several different options, and it gets a bit weird. Like, can you really trust anybody in Alec's inner circle? Also, the fact that Alec gets super overprotective, and I kind of get where he's coming from, having been in the media. His mom is like a famous television star also, so like he has lived his entire life in the paparazzi and the media's spotlight, and so we kind of get why he's so protective and has such walls up, but also, I don't know, some of the things that he says and does to Linda, especially towards the end of the book, get a bit like, they're putting me on edge, because it's just like, Alec's not great either. He's getting to be a bit controlling, and I get that he's trying to protect himself, but like, it was also, even Alec was making me nervous in this book. So I'm fully behind Linda as a character and loved her, but yeah. What else in this book? Linda is Hispanic or Latina. I think her dad, yeah, her last name is González. I think her dad is the one who has a background, that person of color background. Her parents had her at a young age, so they're also kind of cautious about her getting close to Alec as they find out about the real Alec Brock, because they were about her age when they had her, so they don't want her repeating their mistakes. We also see her with much younger half-siblings on her dad's side, who she's kind of being the older sister and having to babysit and take care of. The younger sister is like 4 and is absolutely adorable too. Like, I really love the little girl. We also get to meet Linda's best friend Nina, the one who knows the secret, as she becomes part of this. Yeah, Nina's great. She's like a good supportive friend. And like they talk back and forth on the phone. It's great. There's also some bits in here about Linda just moving across the country and dealing with normal teenage stuff as she's getting into a new school and dealing with the fact that the guy she thought she was in love with doesn't know if she can trust him. So as she's trying to make new friends, so as she's going to a new school and meeting new people, having like her guard up and not necessarily trusting everybody and trying to be a bit more mature. At least what she thinks mature is. So yeah, I really enjoyed All My Love, Alec Brock. I kind of zipped through it. I ended up giving it 4 out of 5 stars just because there's definitely a creepy factor that is very unsettling in this book about the imposter and also real Alec towards the end. So I wasn't... It's good. And if I read more thrillers, maybe I would be like, that's a normal part of this book. But as somebody who was looking for like a light romance, I don't know. Couldn't quite give it the 5 stars. And there's a sequel coming out, No More Lies, Alec Brock, that I'm pretty sure is still coming out in July. So it is a duology. I was also looking at the author's like social media, and there might be a third book, but right now it's a duology. It also, the book, kind of spoiler alert, but because there's another book coming, this one does not end with everything being wrapped up prettily. You know, we gotta leave something for the second book to explore, so there's still a lot of unanswered questions. I definitely feel like I need the second book, and it's not one where you can just read the first book on its own. You could, but like there's so many unanswered questions that I need the second book too. So 4 out of 5 stars. I'm looking forward to book 2. I kind of need it at this point. Let me know in the comments below if you have read this. I thought it was very similar to The Heartbreakers by Ali Novak, which I really loved, and I will post the link to that review down in the description below, as well as other books that I end up thinking are similar. I think there's Tone Deaf, which is also a book about like a artist, a famous band encountering a normal human, one of us, you know, normal plebeians. Yeah, if you have read this one, let me know what you thought of it. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you like Alec? At the beginning of this book, I really loved Alec, but like the last bit towards the end is just like, I don't know. Definitely 100% behind Linda though. Peace out. I love you guys, and keep reading. Bye.